The MVNO market has changed a lot in the last year, and the company that popularized the contractless mobile service in the United States is starting to look a lot more like the competition it sought out to displace. Yes, Mint Mobile has been beaten at its own game, and surprisingly, by one of the major carriers. Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter by putting two MVNO services next to each other and telling you why, if you're looking for a contractless mobile service, or maybe you want to reduce your phone bill, or maybe you're traveling to the United States for a short period of time, or for whatever reason you want a contractless temporary phone service, this video is why you should go with Visible and not Mint Mobile. First though, let me catch you up on some MVNO, that's Mobile Virtual Network Operator, history. There are hundreds of MVNOs operating in the United States, but the one most people have heard of is Mint Mobile. Mint wasn't the first MVNO, but bringing on the face of part owner and spokesperson Ryan Reynolds caught a lot of people's attention. Mint was an alternative to the conventional mobile phone plans that most people think of as yearly contracts that are tricky to understand, costly, and difficult to get out of. So here comes along Mint Mobile, offering contractless service that costs less per month and has a great marketing campaign. Since 2016, Mint Mobile has grown to 4 million users, which compared to the major carriers isn't a whole lot, but that brand is so recognizable and so valuable that T-Mobile actually acquired it in 2024. Before this, the way traditional MVNOs worked is a company like Mint would rent out a small but significant portion of a major carrier's network, like what Mint Mobile did with T-Mobile. Mobile networks are expensive to maintain with all their towers and infrastructure, so they are happy to rent a portion of it to a smaller company that isn't a threat, and they don't mind if that company happens to resell the service. Because all of this is still going through that major carrier, so in this example with Mint Mobile and T-Mobile before the acquisition, T-Mobile was happy to do this because they're selling off a portion of their network to be used, so they're getting money that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise, and they don't mind if Mint Mobile is reselling that service because the money is all going back to T-Mobile, at least a portion of it each time. It works for Mint Mobile because they can sell the service on to you at a discount by not having physical stores and just maintaining call centers, plus offer service with no annual contract. I've made several videos about MVNOs, and I'll leave a link to those under the subscribe button, but that's the story up until this point, until something changed. And what that major change was is that the major carriers who already had MVNOs, some of them already had MVNOs like Cricket with at&t, they just realized, hey, we can make money off of these if we just market them better. Mint Mobile forced those companies to offer better deals with lower monthly rates, but also showed the major carriers that effective marketing could have a major impact on brand awareness. None of this is news in the business world, right? Great marketing often leads to good sales, but it wasn't until Mint Mobile came along that the major carriers actually took that space seriously because it was pretty wide open until recently. Let's take Visible by Verizon. That is their MVNO and an alternative budget mobile phone service that's been making a marketing blitz with their simple but recognizable blue and white branding. Slowly but surely, they've been growing, and although you may be more familiar with Mint Mobile, there are some key differences. For starters, Mint Mobile is contractless, but their plans require a 3-month commitment, whereas Visible is a true month-to-month. You can cancel both easily, just don't pay to renew, but it's 30 days over every 90 days. Visible has 2 plans, and both are for unlimited talk, text, and data, whereas Mint Mobile's plans generally have data caps of 5 to 20 gigabytes. Visible plans start at $25, and Mint is $15 to $35 for unlimited plans, and remember, you have to pay 3 months in advance, not ideal if you just want short-term service or more flexibility to switch MVNOs. Still though, Visible has annual plans that can save you $25 to $145 annually, depending on whether you get the Visible or their Visible Plus plan. Mint Mobile's great international plans have also disappeared since the T-Mobile acquisition, and while Visible's isn't a whole lot better, the advantage Mint once had in this area is now gone. I'd also give a slight edge to Visible in terms of their online experience. You can get everything set up through their app. You can even move your number from your current carrier, and it's a very seamless experience. Mint Mobile also works completely online through their app, but I've found testing their service over the last months that I've had to get in touch with their customer support service a couple of times for various issues, to set things up, to renew things, so it's not quite as user-friendly. And then And then we need to talk about the coverage differences. Overall, Visible has a lot more coverage across the United States than Mint Mobile. Visible also has coverage in Alaska, which Mint Mobile does not. Is there a chance that Mint Mobile has better coverage in your area, around your home, or around where you work than Visible? Yeah, sure. And if that's the case, I would take a look at Mint Mobile over Visible because coverage is very, very important when it comes to mobile service. But in general, Verizon is going to have more coverage across the United States. And if you opt for their Visible Plus plan, you'll also have access to their 5G ultra wideband network. Unless you do a lot of streaming of games or videos or watching Netflix on your phone through a mobile connection, then I think you're going to be happy with the Visible plan, just the regular plan. Probably don't need the Visible Plus plan, but of course, since it is month to month, you can always change. You can always go upgrade 1 month and then try it when you might need faster service, or maybe just want to give that a shot and then just switch back to the regular Visible Plus plan. It's very flexible to switch between plans, and like I said, it's month to month. Although I think for the vast majority of you, you're going to be surprised at how good of a service you get for $25. I've done a full review of Visible and I'll link to it in the description below, but when it comes to a head-to-head with Mint Mobile, as it stands today, Visible is the better choice. While on the other hand, since Mint Mobile was acquired by T-Mobile, it's lost a lot of the features that once made it stand out. When I first reviewed Visible, I came to the conclusion that it was solid mobile service that lacked some of the perks other MVNOs at the time were offering. Most of those perks coming from independent MVNOs, features like international roaming credits, great customer service, and very competitive pricing. But since then, a lot of the indie MVNOs have been gobbled up by the major carriers who are now competing directly in the same space with lower prices, straightforward online customer service, and able to offer faster mobile service with less throttling in comparison. The edge a company like Mint Mobile had on Visible has dissolved, especially after the acquisition by T-Mobile, and the current MVNO landscape is a lot of the major carriers with fewer and fewer independent alternatives. And they make it all so easy too. You can bring over your current number and seamlessly switch from any carrier or other MVNO to Visible, all in less than 10 minutes without ever having to talk to a human being. The way things stand now, Visible has beaten Mint Mobile and a lot of the other competing MVNOs at their own game. I guess you thrive as an MVNO or survive as long as you can until you get bought out by a major carrier. Ultimately though, it's less competition in the marketplace, which isn't good for you as a consumer, but if you're looking for an MVNO deal right now or a deal on your mobile phone service, then Visible by Verizon has a pretty good one for you. Thanks for watching. I'm curious if you've used Mint Mobile or Visible, what you think of the service, what you've gotten for your money. Is it worth it? Which one would you choose over the other? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll have new videos for you every week, and I'll see you in the next video.